This story's from March 1979. I know the date because it was quite a well-known and well-documented occurrence. I was travelling to Liverpool that day with my mum in her car. I was laid down in the back seat because I had tonsillitis again. As we exited the tunnel, we came to some traffic lights. I now know those traffic lights were at the junction of the A5052 and A5053. On the opposite side of the junction, there was a funeral procession, but not a modern one with cars. It was the old style with horses and a cart, and a funeral director was there. Now the funeral director was stood at the side of the road. I think he was waiting for all the traffic to stop because it was that busy. Now all the traffic had stopped, and we were first in the line opposite. But the old man was looking at me. I even said to my mum, "Mum, he's looking at me." My mum said, "Yeah." And he stopped and looked at me for what must have been about 10 seconds. So long, in fact, people in the cars were winding the windows down and telling him to get a move on. Now I clearly remember what the funeral director looked like. He was about 5'5" or 5'6", so quite short, and he had this quite long grey fuzzy hair poking down from his hat. But he was stood there, across, still looking at me. I was starting to wonder, why is he still looking at me? How can he see me from that far away? He was at least 30 metres away. After this long time of looking at me, he climbed back on the cart and started to make his way across the junction. There must have been at least 100 cars waiting for him to pass and go on his way. Finally, he did go on his way, crossing the junction, going down the road, out of sight. Not long later, people were starting to phone up the local radio station, saying about what happened, and saying it was a ghost, because people said he just disappeared from out of sight. No one knew where he went. No one knew what he was about. But he was there, at the junction, and it was a rare occurrence for me to be travelling to Liverpool. But he was stood there watching me. Why was he watching me? Out of the hundreds of people that were sat there in their cars at that junction that morning, it was me he was giving his attention to. Why? Did he know I've got this spiritual connection? I think he did. Thanks for watching. My name's Scott Spirit. If you'd like a psychic or a tarot reading, come and see me at timepsychics.com. If you can support me on Patreon, that would be excellent and really appreciated. And on a final note, I'll say to you, may the good spirits be with you and guide you on your journey and take you under their wings when you do so need. All the best. Take care.